What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Line show where we're doing our best to be the bridge. Oh, look at that, Corey. Corey's got some change with him today. We're doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency space where crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. Welcome back from the holidays, from Christmas. We're pumped to have you guys. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Gary here in Arizona, getting over from being sick because we just got shocked from the weather change from going to Puerto Rico here to Arizona where it's cold. We got down to 38 degrees last night. And so it's taking some getting used to, but we're loving it. And I'm just truly blessed to be here with you, with all these fine folk in the chat on this journey to where we're going to change the trajectory of our family's life. We're on a mission, guys, a mission to use cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool and use real estate and business ops or maybe oil and gas, whatever you see fit that you like to add to your portfolio and use that as a wealth preservation tool. And it's super exciting where we're at in the market right now. I love that we've had Pulse Chain just have about 14 days of green candles. And I was actually I was watching some chat going back and forth in one of these back rooms, Telegram rooms that I'm in, and that whales are accumulating slowly is what they're thinking or what they're seeing. There's big wallets accumulating very slowly, and they don't want to push the price chart up against themselves. And so they're not buying, hundreds of thousands of dollars in one market order, but people are accumulating. Bigger money is starting to accumulate slowly in the background, which is why we're seeing this slow green candle growth, nothing explosive, because they don't want to move it against themselves because Wells could do it. And it's just super exciting to see the good market structure that we're experiencing right now. And I was also in one. I give him props and credit. He's probably one of the best paid groups I'm in. Is Hans, the TA guy. He did it on Christmas. He did a live Zoom on Christmas Day. I was like, bro, so I tuned in. I tuned in for like 15 minutes. And man, he was talking about how, he was talking about the market structure and kind of the same stuff that we are already talking about, how the W there. And he thinks that we will be back at sacrifice price right around or pre Bitcoin halving. And he's saying that, we'll slowly keep creating good market structure even after the halving. Obviously, there's volatility, guys. You're going to experience 30, 40, 50%, corrections always. But going into 2025, I mean, that's where he thinks around 2025 is when it will go parabolic and blow through all the basically do higher highs.
Say that again. When was that?
Leading into 2025 is when he thinks it will go parabolic and experience the higher highs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's the structure he is seeing, where we'll be back to SAC rate pre or right around the Bitcoin halving. It would be exciting to be back at our SAC rate, man, because I know just like you and probably a lot of people in the chat, we've all been dollar cost averaging in, on these lower lows. So even back at SAC rate, man, I'm, pretty well in profit. Now, will be interesting to see where Hex is at in relation to Pulse at that time, where Pulse X is at in relation to Pulse at the time, and some of these other, third parties, like Fame. Where would Fame be at? If we're at SAC rate on Pulse or above SAC rate, where's Fame going to be at? Where's Power City going to be at? It'll be very interesting to see some of these protocols and where they're at, because, as Pulse Chain's waking up and coming to life, you got to imagine some of these third-party protocols starts waking up and coming to life, and money starts flowing in to the stuff that people, use, or meme coins too. Even though you don't really use meme coins, you just kind of speculate on it. But we saw Teddy Bear freaking run hard recently, and I think it might continue to run. I hope Teddy Bear is the bonk. The bonk.
Oh, it'd be great.
I do, man. I'm not invested, and that's fine. But I want to see us have a bonk over like Solana did. I want us to see it happen over here. And I know some of you guys have, mixed feelings about B roots, whatever. I don't care. I want to see Teddy Bear just rip and do 100x. I really do. It would be so cool to get that kind of attention over on our ecosystem, and I think it could happen. It could. It's yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. Like you said, we've said bunches of times, and other people as well. We can't take credit for the statement that green candles are the best marketing. I mean, if you can get freaking green candles 100x on something like Teddy Bear, we saw all the excitement around Solana largely fed, because of Bonk, and so we're here for it. It'd be great.
Agreed. It's just good marketing, and that's what meme coins is. Meme coins, that's what retail comes in. That's what they like to come and buy. They like to come and buy, the dog picture, or in this case, it'd be the teddy bear. Who doesn't love a good teddy bear, right? Right? My daughter loves them. Like if my daughter could buy a meme coin, that would be the meme coin she would buy. She would not buy a frog. She would not buy. She would buy a teddy bear. And so let's get over here and do it, man. I would love to see it. It's good marketing. It'll bring a lot of eyeballs and attention, because then you'd have smarter money coming and go in here. Okay, well, what is the utility for Pulse Chain? What are these guys doing over here that's smart? And then we could point them towards fame. We could point them towards the Power City. We could point them towards the liquid loans. I'm loving liquid loans right now. I'm utilizing the protocol. I don't have a very big position in there, but I do have a position over there where I'm doing the stability pool, and I'm taking that and I'm compounding the money. It's great. And so I think there'll be a lot of money that would love and enjoy these protocols that we have. Wait till Tetra launches. Tetra could be absolutely the shining star on the hill of Pulse Chain. I'm bullish on it. I see Red Squirrel in the chat. I know he's bullish on it. And we can really see that. I think it aims to solve a problem on the blockchain that no one's ever solved before. And I love that. It's it's a tall order, but if it gets filled, it's going to be a moonshot, in my opinion. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm here for it, and I'm just glad that you guys are along this ride with us. And super cool.
And prices are still cheap. You can go and acquire the things that you still like right now on Pulse Chain for a good deal in comparison to where we may be, in 6 months from now. So it's an opportunity still, and that's where, we are not going to be the guys saying to buy when it's getting.
Well, let's talk about that.
Like it's getting toppy. We're not those guys. We like the prices still right now.
Where do you, Dane, personally, where do you stop DCAing? And let's just use Pulse as an example, because obviously that's the layer one. Where would you stop DCAing and be like, you know what, this is, I've accumulated a nice bag. Like these levels here, you feel like, you're just not getting the value you got before. Because there's going to be a number. Like there's a number where, you're just like, I'm not getting much for my money at all anymore. Like, where's your DCA stop?
I mean, I think for me, I think like a lot of people, right? I feel really comfortable. So right here is, best sack rate right there, like 3 zeros and a 1. I feel really comfortable in this range acquiring. And the beauty of it is like, we don't have to be perfect, right? You don't have to buy the perfect bottom. You don't need to sell the perfect top. As long as you're buying generally in the low ranges when things are generally cheap, and selling generally when things get more expensive. And so I think that I'm going to reassess my positions once we're back to sack rate and start using sack rate as support level, and then saying, like, how do I feel about my holdings? Where am I at? And, are there other things that are cheaper, if you will, that are still cheap that you could buy that you feel really good about the upside? But even then, I think, I don't know, I'm just shooting from the hip here, but even like a double, triple, from sack rate, I don't know. I still think is like not the craziest place to buy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's interesting because the amount of pulse that you receive. Let's say, for example, you're at 3 zeros and a 2. And you can use like 10 grand as an example. The amount of pulse received at 3 zeros and a 2 versus at 4 zeros and a 7, because let's say just call it a 7, right? We'll round it up.
Right.
It's magnitudes of a difference.
Yeah.
It really is. And I don't know. I feel like I'm like you. Once I get above SAC price, though, it's like at that point, I will definitely be value shopping in other places and looking to put my money in other places. Not taking profits, but be
Right.
looking for other opportunities. Just because I accumulated so much down here in these lows, it's like, I was able to build my bag up in a nice way. That
Oh, way more than we thought we'd ever have. It's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
way more than I ever dreamed that because I don't know if you guys know or remember, me and Dane both missed the pulse sacrifice. So I didn't have an opportunity to, get the 4 zeros and a 7 if I'd have gone big in the pulse sacrifice, or 406, or what was the whale? 404 is the biggest, I think, for the whale bonus. But we didn't have that. And so obviously I started buying at the launch because we didn't know when, what the price would do. I wish I'd have waited a little bit longer for the majority of my bag, but that's fine. I was able to accumulate a nice size bag down here in these lows. So we'll see. But yeah, man, it's interesting because you get up to the three zeros and a 2. It's like, I don't know, man.
It'll be interesting to see where things go. But I mean, but you look at something now. I know that Pulse Chain is not Hex, Pulse X is not Hex, but I mean, gosh, like you could have bought Hex for
I know
months and
I know.
been really good. So I think one of the big considerations for me is I feel really comfy buying Richard's stuff because I don't feel like we're going to get rug pulled. There's going to be volatility, right? Yeah. But I feel comfy buying that stuff. And I feel really good about the upside from where we're at right now in the market cycle.
Definitely, if you're looking at your risk tolerance in your portfolio, everyone's got a bit of a different risk tolerance of what they can tolerate. Obviously, we're already in crypto, so we already have a very high risk tolerance, but then you can add layers on top of that, right? It's like,
right.
And for me, I'm like you, where if I'm investing in RH assets, even if the price is a little on the higher side than I like, I don't feel it's nearly as risky as going into a brand new third-party protocol or something else, or going on to a different chain, getting into something that I don't have a lot of research and due diligence on, or that might get rugged or might go down. Like Solana's gone down like 10 different times, even though Solana's a great this market cycle so far. Is just the risk tolerance for me in the RH stuff. I feel less like the only other less riskiest I could be. Is that a word? Less risk. Like it's like going into like Ethereum. If I wanted to like DCA my way into Ethereum, like that's a very, for me, a risk off approach to crypto besides stable coins, right? Like going into stable coins, like Ethereum, like for me right now, I feel like Ethereum has some legs to run. I think it's been running this morning, actually. It's been nice to see Ethereum run finally, because that's our DeFi indicator that DeFi could run somewhere in the near future. But that would be my next like layer below the RH assets, is just going into Ethereum. You're on mute, Dan, if you were talking. But...
Thank you. This is a good question. We could talk about sea creatures, and I think that's honestly, I think this is an important thing to take into account, because man, like you go and you look, we're talking about bargain hunting, today, where you can go. So like, let's do the math really quick. Let's go and look at the supply.
For what, Pulse?
I think this is accurate. Yeah. So is it 150 billion that you need to be a whale?
Yeah. So right. Yep.
So I mean, let's just do the math. Let's say like, a lot of people try to let's do a dolphin, 1.5 billion. How about?
That's correct.
Let's go with the dolphin, just to like add perspective. So 1.5 billion. What is that? 1.5
times 4065.
So what is your cost basis to buy a dolphin position right now?
Here, let me
I'm doing the math. Let's see. That's 100 million. That's 1.5 billion times by 0.123. Let's call it 7. We'll round up. 1.5 billion. I need to put in an extra 0. I was like, man, that feels awful expensive. I mean, so to be a dolphin right now, you got to have 105K in, roughly speaking, just to be a dolphin in Pulse. Whereas, you look at something like Fame, I think it's like 20 grand a day to be a shark. You look at something like Tetra, I think you'd be a shark in Tetra for like, 5 grand. And so that's where you're just trying to figure out what the balance is there for you, and what your risk tolerance is, and how you may or may not want to diversify. So, so that's, I don't know, that's how I'm thinking of it. And it's harder, right? It just gets a lot more expensive, even at these cheap prices, to get a larger position. And so, like yeah, I think Corey and I try really hard to be dolphins, sharks, and anything that we like.
Yeah.
And just depend upon, your budget. It depends on you. You can scale it however you want. I mean, and to be a shark, I mean, you just take another zero off. You got to be, you need $1 million to be a shark and Pulse right now.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I'm doing the math, and it's interesting because how we're just talking about from our conversation before. Right now, so it's about 100 grand, a little. So it'd be around, if Pulse was at 3 zeros and a 2, that's what I want to do the math on now. Looks like it's about 300 grand. Is that number right? 50. Oh, maybe here times 1, 2, 3. No, I think I was wrong there.
Yeah, 300K.
300K. So if you wanted to go to Dolphin, if you were at double the sacrifice price, yeah, I mean, I guess I could still be a range for DCing for me. It's not, because I mean, 100 grand and 300 grand, it's not astronomical difference. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. You'll have to reassess when we get back to SAC price. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. The plumber speaks. Yes, there is. In fact, we'll show you. Why I'm pulling this up, Corey, we both saw, if you guys are not aware, Richard released a video on Christmas. The plumber speaks. I'll pull this up in just a second. Before we get there, though, I want to share this. So if you guys were not aware, Richard released an hour and 23-minute video on Christmas, which was awesome. It was so nice to see him rally the troops a little bit, to see where his sentiment's at, and talk about, how some of the things, frankly, just didn't come to pass that he would have liked to have seen for the perfect bottom. And so, like, Richard is alive and well. He hasn't ran away. This isn't AI Richard, like, because he's dead, like a lot of people speculated. Like, everything's cool. It's all right to take a deep breath. We're in the beginnings of what could be an insane bull run, and you've got to figure out where your convictions are at and place your bets accordingly.
I do want to point one thing out while we're talking about the video. Now, we don't give any financial advice, or we don't speak any forward speaking statements. For all we care, go buy bonds, talk to a financial advisor. We don't care. But for me, there was something I noticed when he was talking that really stood out, and that's when he was talking about Solana. And he was talking about Solana in the way that it's been moving recently, even though the SEC deemed it a security under the Coinbase case and the Kraken case. And so it was just something that you might want to pay attention to when you're watching this video, is how he addressed the price action around Solana. It could be an indicator. For me, it could be an indicator. For you, it means go buy bonds. So just to point that out.
What do you mean? Like, how are you using as an indicator for you?
That Pulse Chain's also security, and that Pulse Chain can literally do what Solana just did. And that there could be some strings pulled behind the scenes that can make Pulse Chain do what Solana just did. Like, to me, he was spelling it out as clear as day when he was on that particular. He was like, look, dum-dums, selling Pulse because of SEC. This doesn't mean anything. You just watch and see. Solana did this because it's also targeted. Doesn't mean that I can't go in there and pull some strings and do the exact same thing. And that's, like I said, take it however you want. But that's how I was like, okay, yeah, he knows what he's doing and how he's doing it, and it's going to be interesting to see.
I think that's a really good take. My biggest takeaway was how brash he was towards Gary Gensler.
Oh, it's cool. I loved it.
That
Oh
was
my God.
fascinating. So, like for those of
Holy
you that are
shit.
unaware, when you're in a lawsuit against a party, when in fact, if your attorneys have told you differently, Corey, I'd love to hear. Corey and I have been involved in a few different lawsuits. In real estate, it's the nature of the game there. If you're doing enough volume, you're gonna end up in court. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. And anytime that I was in, there were legal proceedings against deals that we were doing in real estate terms. Our attorneys always said, you don't say anything about the case in public. You don't talk about the other parties, certainly not disparagingly, because it gives them potential grounds to be able to bring additional judgments and things against you. And so just play it like very cool. And Richard said, F you guys, Gary Gensler. And frankly, like he answered a lot of questions that I've been Mike's out. Okay. He answered a lot of questions I've been thinking about because gosh, it feels like Gary's running around, doing whatever he wants. And where's the accountability? How do you hold somebody like that accountable in a government position? And Richard nailed it. You need to have the finances to go and sue somebody like that and try to hold them personally responsible for manipulating the markets, which is exactly what he's been doing. And Richard
100%.
Seems to think that ought to be done. Will Richard bring charges against Gary Gensler? That would be fascinating.
Once again, he's not going to tell us on the video
Yep.
that that's what he's doing, but he could be leaving some hints behind of all this stuff. I thought it was, for me, it made me so effing bullish on 2024. Like 2025 is a whole nother story, but even on 24, I think it's just, we're going to see a lot of fireworks and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And once again, when I'm invested into any project, protocol, syndication, fund, like when I invest in a syndication, I invest in people who have confidence, who have leadership skills, who are arrogant. Yes, guys, I look for people who run my real estate deals or whatever I'm investing in, and I look for arrogance. In fact, one of the oil and gas ventures that me and Dane in, the guy who runs that protocol, you'd call it, I guess, or project, is very arrogant, and he is very like brash, in your face, and I love that about him. Now, he made some mistakes, of course, with the protocol that he, or the project he did, but I invest in people is what I'm trying to get to. That's what I invest in. And if you're soft, and if you don't embody a leadership skills, or body like if you don't have any arrogance about your confidence, or like, I'm not going to invest in you. It's just, I'm not. I don't see anything to. I invest in people, and if his brashness, and I've said this a million times on the show, and I'll say it again, if his brashness and arrogance turns you off, it's because you're letting it hit your ego. Take the ego down, and you'll see opportunity. Ego will cost you so much opportunity in your life if you don't know how to remove the ego in you. It is the biggest killer of opportunity, and that means making money. Let it go. And I love it. It's so, yeah, I'll get off my soapbox on that one. I know I've said that many times on this show, but it's so effing true. And when I watched this, I was like, oh my God, this is the Richard who I fell in love with. This is the Richard who I invested in, and I'm ready to go. Let's go. Like, I'll do another DCA just because of that video.
Right. Yeah, be more brash. Noted.
Yeah, I love it. It's I don't invest in soft people, man. It's just I don't. And my real estate deals, I'm gonna have a Zoom with you. You need to sell me on the deal, and you need to sell me on you. You got to sell me on you and your confidence of your capabilities of pulling the deal off. This is the same thing. He's instilled confidence in me that he's going to pull off what I think he can pull off next year. Now, you can come up to your own assumptions, what that means. I've come up with mine. And I'm ready for it. And I'm about to DCA again just because of that. So I'm getting myself pumped up today, bro.
Yep, let's do it. I like it. Oh yeah, but back to this question: how you can go straight from fiat to Pulse chain
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
without the bridge? Yeah, the easiest
That's
way
great.
is through 0x Coast. So I've logged into my account. I'll show you what that looks like.
I love Coast, man. They just need to up their liquidity some. Other than that, they're great. But
Agreed.
the liquidity comes with time.
Right.
That's a time problem, not a protocol problem.
Right, exactly. So you can come in here at 0xcoast.com. You create an account. I'm on my work computer, so I don't have any of my real wallets or anything connected in here. But once you're in here, you can go ahead and just connect MetaMask, make sure it's your hardware wallet, all that type of stuff. But once you're here, you're gonna go ahead. In fact, I'll just give you the steps. So first, you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna click on this deposit cash right here, this blue hyperlink, and it gives you all these different options where you can go ahead and send funds in. So in fact, if you want to use my Wise account, that's how you can send funds to my Coast account. So feel free to give that a test run. But you can choose the option that you want here to be able to send your funds in. Make sure that you're following the directions there to the T. We've had a few people that we've helped with crypto that have had to do a little bit more due diligence and whatnot just to get approved, because the guys over there at Coast just want to make sure that there's no funny business going on, which is good. So shout out to those guys. But once you get your account approved and you send in your cash, you'll be able to see your balance here. I don't have anything in here right now, but your balance will update right here. And then once you have the cash, you can come over here to buy. It's sweet. You don't even need any Pulse. I'm not exactly sure how this works on the background to be able to make it occur, but you can come in. You can use your USD, your cash, buy yourself a little bit of Pulse. You can buy any of these assets right here. It's going to take a little bit of time to process. You can see here it says right now currently the processing time is 4 minutes. So they've got to do some extra wizardry on the back end in order to make this stuff happen. It's not, an immediate blockchain transaction like it would be if you're just buying straight, on a DEX. But man, yeah, in a matter of a few minutes, you can go ahead and get you some Pulse and then jump in and start transacting. So the pathway that if I were setting this up, that I would do is I would come in, I would put my cash in, then once I was here, I would use some of my cash. I'd go buy 100,000 weight tokens, which is incredibly cheap right now. I don't even think it's $100. I don't
think it is.
I think
$90.
Yeah, I think it's less than $100. Buy 100,000 weight is once again what I would do. You make your own financial decisions. But for me, I buy 100,000 weight. I type in. It's not letting me type because I don't have anything in here. Oh, it's letting me type in the USD. But in fact, let's just see for fun. $100 USD. It's not calculating the weight.
Yeah,
that's all right.
I'm going to go to Pitius to calculate what that number would look like.
Sure. Yeah, but get yourself 100,000 weight. Then you can go in here to feed. And once your wallet's connected, you're on Pulse Chain. You can come in here and stake it. Make sure that it's staked. Well, but you probably need a little bit of Pulse to stake it, though, don't you?
So buy Pulse first.
Yep. So change the order. Buy yourself a little bit of Pulse. Get like 10,000 Pulse. I think it's like a few dollars worth of these. Mike's out. Oh, there we go. At these prices. So get yourself, 10,000 Pulse. Then get your 100,000 weight. Then go over here to transaction or to fees. You can go ahead and stake the weight, and then go ahead and turn the rest of your cash into Pulse or whatever you want it to be in, so you can go and transact.
Or
that would give you the best rate.
Yep. Yeah. Go and mint your CST at that point. At the cheapest rate, and then you're on chain without the bridge, and it works. I don't know if you're familiar, Plumber, with Trust Token. They were very big here in the United States there for a while. Then they got kind of pushed out with all this current regulation. But it works very similar like TUSD and Trust Token. And so you'll mint it right on chain. You'll mint your CST right on chain, and then you can go and do whatever you want. Go buy some meme coins. Go participate in some utility protocols. It's good stuff. We're loving this protocol. Right now, is it still 0.25% on the fees? I think it is.
Yep, up through the end of the year.
Yeah, so you have 100
more days.
Yeah. So that it's a great onboarding tool. direct on chain. You bypass the bridge, and there's other ways that people are coming up with that I'm hearing about in the through the grapevine that will bypass the bridge and get you directly on chain. So we're going to be seeing a lot of this type of stuff pop up next year. I know I saw on Christmas, we saw even a Visa debit card get approved for our ecosystem where you could fund the Visa debit card and use it for real life purchases and vice versa. I think you can go back and forth with it. So I don't know.
I wonder if that could. Yeah, I wonder if that could save you if you had larger bags. If that could save you slippage. How that would work. I'm curious. We'll have to dig into that more later on.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know there's fees associated to it too. I think there's $12 for the setup of the card, and then it's like, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 4% fee, something like that. I need to do a little bit more digging before I start spitting on numbers. But yeah, there's something associated with it. But it still would be cool just to have it, even if there's fees, okay. But like just to have it as a backup for if you needed a quick access into some of your funds in the crypto, you have it there. That way, if something happens in the real world where you're like, you need to get access to that money quickly, then you have it. So just things like that are going to make this ecosystem evolve so much more quicker, and super excited. Yeah, then we got the new bridges popping up. Like we have the BNB bridge with the Spark Swap guys. In fact, we might have those guys on our show. We're not investors in Spark Swap, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff over there where I feel like they're bringing the adoption to. I guess they're now the number 2 biggest DEX on Pulse Chain is Spark Swap, or maybe number 3. I can't remember what the stats were. I think it goes PulseX, Fux, and then I think it's Spark Swap. So then they have a bridge direct from BNB because that's where those guys come from. So we might have them on our show sometime and talk about that. They're doing some cool stuff for adoption. And so just things like that. We need more and more stuff. We need the Portal X swap to be back online again. I think they took it, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's not being utilized right now because they're getting it ready for the core. Is what I think it's for.
I know they're working on some liquidity things there too to make routing better. So that'd be great.
Yeah. So that would be another way Plumber speaks of getting into Pulse Chain without a bridge is the Portal X swap. And you can do that from almost any chain. I think it's like 60 something chains, which I don't even know what 60 chains looks like. I don't even know there's that many. Gosh. And so a lot of cool things coming that will get us in and out without directly using the RH bridge per se, right? And even that, it's free right now. If you were wanting to use it, it's free. You get a little bit of pulse in your wallet when you're coming over the bridge because they built some bots that will drop pulse into your wallet.
Yeah, I saw Richard talking about that in the video. If you bridge over, you automatically get a little bit of pulse.
Yep, KDP was one of the ones who was helping with building one of those bots.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, KDP was directly and helps with that. So you can come over, and now you have a 0 transaction fee of coming over the bridge. Now, not talking about the ETH gas fee. You still have to pay the ETH gas fee, so just keep that in mind. And sometimes that fee still works out to be more than what you'd pay in Coast. So it's like almost so it's still better to use Coast. But regardless, if you're on Ethereum, you can come over, pay 0 fees to use the bridge, and then get some pulse directly in your wallet so you can go and obviously buy more pulse and start doing transactions. So that little bit of pulse you receive, guys, it's not a lot. It's like 1,000. Its intention is your first transaction is to go buy more pulse. That should always be your first transaction regardless.
Right.
What you're doing is the first thing you do is go buy more pulse. It's like if on Ethereum, if I was coming off of Coinbase onto Ethereum, the first thing I want to do is either A, send some Ethereum over to my wallet so I can transact on Ethereum, or B, one of the first things I'd want to do on Ethereum is go to Uniswap and buy more Ethereum. So that way I'm not landlocked and I'm able to go and do whatever I want to do over on that chain. So
Urban Productions mind went directly to where mine went.
Man.
Well.
I mean, get yourself.
The problem is these gas fees. It's not profitable to try to arb that.
get 1,000 VAs and they
You're gonna have to pay gas fees on ETH, so
I know. It wouldn't really, yeah.
Yep. This is cool. Sprack's on. What's up, Sprack? Take a look at ETH and Link about to break out. Most of the EVM chains and ETH DeFi tokens are beginning to run. Really?
That's what I saw.
Let's go look.
I saw that.
Let's go look.
Sprack Burger would know. If you guys aren't following Sprack, follow him. He's a great TA guy. He knows his shit when it comes to TA. He's our go-to TA in our personal, we get direct access, and then of course we love access. We love Access Alive, and we love Hans too. But Sprack's like our personal bro.
Yeah, look at that. Let me go ahead and share this.
I saw ETH. I saw over Twitter people were talking about ETH breaking out today, which is, man, we're right on, dude. We're just following the cycle like to the T. It's ridiculous.
It gives me a lot of freaking confidence, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because I don't want to get too bought into any one thing, But
yeah,
it's
scary. Look at that.
Yeah, look at this. Look at that green candle.
Yeah, 20. We're testing the top range there. Wow.
Let me get a different chart. Okay. Let's do ETH. Here we go.
And Link breaking out. Man, Sami will be doing some handstands with Link breaking out.
You will. So what does this move today? Let's see. That's 7% move on ETH. Let's see it. Let's see ETH compared to Bitcoin.
There you go. That's a good chart. Yeah, look
at that.
Yeah, that's basically your dominance, because the majority of the money is in ETH, right? And so that's basically your dominance. Yeah, so
breaking out against Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's getting a little bit stagnant, which is good, because that means our other stuff can run.
Yep, exactly. Once ETH runs and does what it does, well, that's where you'll see some of this liquidity flow into these other layer ones. Whether your layer one's AVAX, whether your layer one's Pulse Chain, Solana ran, in my opinion, so hard because of the freaking influencers. All of them, all the top influencers started shilling Solana 3 months ago, from the get-go. And that's where I feel like it ran so hard. Maybe it's because all the VCs are paying them because they need to dump out of their positions. I don't know. But it ran hard. I saw Random Mar talking about it months ago. I saw BitBoy talking about it months ago. I saw Wendy O talking about it months ago. I saw all of them. They were all talking about it, and they're all in unison. It was all hey, guys, let's get together and just talk about Solana only. And it worked. It pumped the crap out of Solana. Solana did over 10x rather quickly, and yeah, I think it's topped out too. I think a lot of that money now is flowing, and I could be wrong. Who knows? But a lot of that money's flowing over into Ethereum now, which is good. We need that. We need Ethereum to go and do its thing. I'm all about that.
Yep, absolutely. So it's exciting, guys. We've been talking about this for over a year now. We are in the time where things could potentially. We don't give any financial advice here, of course. We personally feel like we're in the time frame where things are going to start heating up here, and that's exciting. So make sure your bags are packed. Hold on to your shorts. And be patient.
It's funny, Dave. We've been streaming for more than a year now too. We started streaming in November of last year, so we hit our anniversary.
That's right.
For 1 year with you guys, rocking and rolling with us. We appreciate all of you. I remember our first stream. I think we had 2 people watching.
I think you're right.
I remember when we hit 20, it was like such a milestone. Like, oh my gosh, we got 20 people who watch our show. And now, today, we have 90 people. So we thank you so much. You guys are amazing. This has been such a fun ride, and man, it almost makes me because I'm not in Puerto Rico, even though I'm part of the whole accent. I'm nervous to be in Arizona. I'm like, okay, if we start pumping and I'm here in Arizona, do I still get my tax break?
All right.
I'm like, yes, I do. It's almost nerve wracking because right. I feel so safe in Puerto Rico. I'm like, all right, you go do your thing. Pump it to the moon now.
Let's go. Oh, man. Well, cool.
Oh,
We appreciate you
man.
guys tuning in. We just about have the free course that we've been talking about to make it easier for onboarding purposes. We just about have that built. Corey and I have been working on that, and so we'll go ahead and share that as soon as we have it. I'd like to have it ready to rock this week, if not early
For the
next.
new year.
Yep, exactly. Make onboarding easy. So, and particularly when we're looking at building that. We said, where do we want the money to flow? And we all want it to flow to Pulse Chain. So it's built where people, where it'll onboard people to Pulse Chain, help them understand real DeFi, just like a quick, easy getting started place. Why crypto? You can use this. This is going to be primarily for no coiners.
Setting up a Trezor, setting up a MetaMask, how to use 0x Coast, stuff like that. Very simple. We're not going to go deep into utility on these protocols or go deep on liquidity providing or anything like that. It's just a basic. Here's a 1, 2, 3. You can give your friends and family. And then if they obviously want to participate and do more, we have more things in the hopper, more things that we do. But this would be a great onboarding. Just like, hey, if you don't want to show somebody how to set up a Trezor wallet because it's a pain in the butt, it is a pain. You could give them this course, and then if they want to go deeper and even rock and roll what we're doing in our mission. Our mission, once again, guys, is always create wealth through crypto and use wealth preservation through real estate and business opportunities. We're going to be on that mission all throughout 2024, all throughout 2025 when we start taking profits, and it's going to be a fun ride. And we would even love for you guys to come on the ride with us, especially when we're taking profits and going into real estate. And so it's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. And we're not giving up crypto when we're doing that. It's like our real estate guys now. We always tell our real estate guys, no, we're not giving up real estate. We're going to go back into real estate. Same with crypto. When we're taking profits in 2024 and 2025, we're not giving up crypto. I love crypto. I love the space. I'm here for it, for the duration of the space. But I do not plan on keeping my economic energy in the space while we're correcting. And so once it corrects, and once again, find some kind of bottoming like we did this last time, was November of last year when Bitcoin fell to its bottom, when the FTX crash happened. That would be our indicator to start rolling back into crypto again. So we're just going to marry the two asset classes together. That's all it is. That's all it is. We love a lot of things about both asset classes that we can use and create, literally, in my opinion, legacy wealth, at least for us, our friends, our family. It's not financial advice. You can go buy bonds. But if you would love to rock and roll with us, we would love to have you along this ride with us. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait.
Freaking blast. Absolutely. So thanks for tuning in today, you guys. You guys make the show what it is. Seriously, we from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate you. It's the holidays. We appreciate everything that you guys do. This is the best community in crypto, and it's not even close. And with that, we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Peace, guys.